Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. I am Starco Gaming and we are back with another Dragon Champion video. If you are level 15 or below, make sure to use the promo code Starco to get a free starter pack. To do so, guys, it is pretty simple. You go in the settings, use promo code, and you enter the code Starco, S-T-A-R-K-O. You press OK and you will receive the goodies, and hopefully you guys will enjoy. So guys, they're going to be jumping in the bonus legendary event for the Pride faction, which is the Icheddon'S champion. Guys, I'm going to showcase how to actually beat that stage number 5, guys. But first, we're going to show the team we're going to be doing it with. So let's jump here. Let's select our Pride. My Pride is one of my strongest faction on my account, so definitely I had no issue to actually get it done. But if you actually need to optimize what you're going to do with your Pride to be able to do so, we're going to talk about that in this video. Now, the first thing that we have to clear out, guys, those stage 5 events are meant for gear 12 characters. Now, if you don't have a gear 12 characters, you are going to struggle a lot more. It is still possible, as one of my characters is actually not gear 12. My Renara build is terrible, so and she can still get the job done. We still got it at 3 stars. But 2 of those characters are going to be very important to get to gear 12. The character number 1 is going to be Boreas, which is going to be probably 70 to 80% of your damage, and Salvador, because Salvador needs to survive till the end. Otherwise, when the buff enrage at the end of the fight, if he takes out your Salvador, is going to start one-shotting everybody. So you need to have your Salvador up standing at the end of the fight, otherwise you will be dead meat. So those 2 characters are very important to get to gear 12 and to have some of their ability to level 7, in my personal opinion. The rest, you can definitely go in gear 11.5, like a few gear into the gear 11 and just ability level 6, and you should be fine. So let's get started with my the star player of my team here, guys. We have Boreas. We're running with critical chance build here, so we can actually maximize. But if we could talk about the ability first, all the abilities are important to get to level 7, to be honest. This ability, the basic ability, is probably the least important to get to level 7, and it's still, you can see here, plus 40% physical damage and plus 50% physical damage to the target with the lowest health. So when you're attacking a target that has the lowest health, you're doing so much more damage. That this ability is even this ability, which is the least important ability to get to level 7, is actually very important. You can see here, see, 3% physical damage per Pride in the team increase. So if you take that out, you lose 15% physical damage, which is a lot. Here you have critical chance increase for 2 turns, pretty much cap your critical chance if you have at least 70% critical chance, which is very important, plus an extra 20% turn meter. And then you have this ability that will do a extra this one here, extra 50% physical damage, and you reduce the max skill cooldown. So instead of having that on a 4-turn cooldown, you have it on a 3-turn cooldown, so you can actually pair it with that passive ability. This is outstanding. And then you have this skill that just brings so much more damage. You see here, 200 and 250 at level 6, and 240 300 at level 7. This is a huge difference, guys. This guy can hit so hard if you actually build his ability to level 7 and get him a good setup on his rune. Now, rune wise, guys, what's going to be important is speed as high as possible, critical chance as high as possible, and critical damage as high as possible. I'm actually lacking on critical damage. I need to replace his artifact, because basically you don't need him to be above 70% critical chance. You can see I have 84%, so I do need to change his artifact for a critical damage artifact eventually. When I can actually build the good one, I will do so, but for now we're still running with critical chance artifact. And so basically you want to have 70% critical chance, so when you use that 3rd skill you get 100%, and then after that you're gonna have as much speed as possible. You can see here we have 237. I will say 225 plus speed is very important. And then that's pretty much the stats that actually matter on them, and as much critical damage as possible. Like If I replace my critical chance artifact for a critical damage artifact, I'll have over 200% critical damage. That will increase my hit by a lot. But even with this build, gets only 187.8% critical damage, it still get the job done. Next, if we talk about the next characters, it is Hera. Hera build don't really matter that much. What's really important on her cast, get her ability to level 6 and give her as much speed as possible, and that is pretty much what matters. It's just her to be able to apply that third skill on Salvador, and when Salvador does not have the town, that is pretty much all she is there for. That is her main work. Obviously, if you have build her to gear 12 and with a decent build, you're going to be able to do some decent damage with her, but nothing even close to the damage that your Boras can do. And you can see here we have 239 speed, and it is the only thing we actually care about on this one. Obviously that critical chance is great, but she does not do that much critical damage. And artifact wise, we actually went with critical chance increase with HP. This was really important for me. It was the HP percentage, because her survivability is quite low, so you want to get as much HP as possible on her. Then the third champion we have here is Renara. Renara is probably my worst pride in this team. She is one of the best pride, but I don't actually bother building her because I rarely use her anymore. So this is where she's standing. Obviously she was gear 12. That'll make this event much easier, but we only have one gear into the process to get to gear 12, so nothing crazy here. But her build is pretty simple, guys. As much damage as possible, as much HP as possible, so she can survive, and speed above 200. That is literally what's important here. You can see speed above 200. After that is magic damage. If you can get it up, it is great, and give her as much survivability with as much HP and shield as possible. And that's pretty much what matters for this event for her. That tenacity is great, but I should actually technically go with HP ruined here to actually increase her survivability, because 51% tenacity it's not high enough to do any difference. And then we have Salvador. Salvador is going to be the second, probably the main shining star in your team, because without Salvador you are dead, literally dead. Even if your Boras can do so much damage, you're still going to be dead. So he is very, very important, and you need to have very high tenacity on him to make sure that he does not get debuffed too much, so you can actually keep rolling with his his still shell and his talent every time they are available. And that's very important. And his ability, guys, what ability is actually important to have to level 6? You have this ability first, the power of the ancient. It's not the most important, I think it's the second most important, but anyway, increase physical armor by 35%, additional 10% for each living pride in the team. We're gonna set it to level 7, not 8 here. So basically, full pride team, you're gonna get 85% physical armor increase, which is gonna make him so good against physical damage. And if I am not mistaken, buff is actually physical damage with his basic ability. So that helps you, even when buff is in range, that helps you take a lot less damage. And also, if Salvador has still shell and a talent, his speed decreased by 30%, which is outstanding because you want him to be as slow as possible. Then you have the still shell here. At level 7, you have 100% chance to gain debuff immunity, which is not improvement, but it is not mandatory. And then you have the second skills. Basically on level 7, it's gonna give you extra damage and tenacity increase for 2 turns. That tenacity increase is great, but not that important. Basically, the only ability that's really important to get to level 7 is this ability. Then that will be the second most important ability. But if you only got the scroll for 1, Power the Ancient is the way to go. And then runes wise, you're gonna give him as much tenacity as possible and the lowest possible amount of speed, which is actually 95. I have 0 speed bonus on him. 95 speed is what you want, and then you want to give him as much shield and HP as possible. So you can see almost 28,000 HP, 50,000 shield, and this is the way to build him. And artifact wise, you want to give him tenacity as high as possible. The other stats don't actually matter. And that is Salvador. And the last characters we have is a Kegi, guys. Kegi is actually a lot stronger than people think. My artifact on Kegi is actually pretty terrible, but you want to give him as much HP percentage as possible because he is kind of squishy, and some damage if you can, but I think that critical chance will actually be better. Critical chance and HP percentage will be slightly better. Now if we actually take a look at his skills, guys, what skill is actually important to get to level 7? Well, if you get any skills to level 7 for him, well, this one will actually increase your magic damage by 10%. If Boreas is in the party when the battle starts, Kegi and Boreas gain tenacity increase for 2 turns. That's not really important. It's really just the 10% magic damage, but if you don't get the second skill to level 7, you don't even need to get this ability to level 7 in my opinion. Then you have the third skill. Pretty much the third skill, you know, it goes from gain ace to 4 allies to turn meter increase to himself and 4 allies. So the whole pride team will get turn meter increase. Wow, I can't find the word. So AoE turn meter increased by 20%, which is outstanding. It reduced the max cooldown, so instead of having a 5 turn cooldown, it is 4 turn cooldown. I think that will be the most important ability to actually get to level 7. If you get one ability to level 7 on him, but then you have this ability, that AoE ability, guaranteed to a 75% chance to increase the currency for 2 turns for all ally, which again allow you to actually hit the buff more often on that challenge. And also the damage increase is pretty crazy. And when you have Kegi, not Kegi but Boreas, use the third skill, actually give critical chance increase to Kegi too. So if you get a critical hit with that second skill, it is a lot of freaking damage. So in my opinion, this is the most important skill to actually get to level 7 if you're gonna get one skill. If you get more skill, my priority will be skill number 2, skill number 3, so you can actually get turn meter to the whole team when needed, and passive ability. The skill number 1 is okay, but it's only gives you, you know, it goes from 50% chance to repeat the attack to 75% chance to repeat this attack. I don't think it is that important. And then if you, for the runes, guys, how to build this guy is pretty simple: as fast as possible, and give him extra critical chance if you can. You can see we have 204 speeds, not my best build, and then we have 42.76% critical chance. If you had the 30% from the Boreas buff, that still give him 72.76% critical chance, which is actually not that bad. More than that will be nice. But anyway, guys, this is the build of my pride team. That gives you a little idea of what I'm going to be running with, and this is recorded on the live server, by the way, guys, so you cannot complain that I'm taking advantage of the test server to get you know, characters that are supposed to be strong, that are stronger than they are supposed to be. So we're gonna jump in there, guys. I'm gonna talk about strategy here. Strategy is actually pretty damn simple. Once we join the fight, guys, we're gonna have to kill Mega Wheel as fast as possible. There is nothing we can do against that. Kill Mega Wheel, and then you know, just enjoy the roll, because he's gonna taunt anyway, and there's nothing you're gonna be able to do against that. So kill Mega Wheel, enjoy the party, and you are going to be good. And you can see that damage from that damage from Boreas was actually pretty solid there. So here on the first turn, we're gonna give dodge increase to Salvador, just to increase his survivability a little bit. And now that we are supposed technically to use the second skill on Kegi, but we have blind on Kegi, so we're not gonna be able to take advantage of that critical chance increase. So we're gonna go turn meter increase, so my Salvador can go with the shell as soon as possible. Meanwhile, we're still gonna hit Mega Wheel like a truck. His AoE might actually bother us a lot here, but we're gonna try to apply some cheat deaths on some people soon enough. Hopefully that's gonna help. Now with Hira, you see our blue icon here, which is sharp deal extra damage. You want to wait till that icon reach 2 stacks before you use the second skill, so you're gonna fill with the basic attack otherwise. Now we could use that that second skills on the Kegi, but we're not going to do so because we want to wait till Boras go with his third skill again before we use that. So we're gonna go basic attack, try to do some damage, and then boom, next time our Kegi is gonna have big crits on that AoE, and that's gonna be very, very useful. So we're going to keep using that. Now we have 2 stacks on that sharp on hero, so now we're going to be using that second skill, which is going to give us extra damage, and then we're going to try to kill this guy. So close, and we're going to use that AoE. Now that we have that critical chance increase and critical damage increase, which should do quite a good amount of damage here. Then after that, we're gonna kill this girl, because of Salvador, we don't actually have to worry about the enrage buff here. You can see buff getting 10% damage increase by 6 times. It does not matter because Boras is not gonna, not Boras, but Salvador is not gonna take that much damage, so we can just take care of the healer, and then at the end we're gonna take care of the tank of buff, my bad. And here we have the third skill available on hero, but we don't really want to use it right now. We have this steel shell on Salvador, so using the dodge increase will not actually do anything good, so we're just going to ignore it and go with the basic attack here on her. Then we're going to go with the double attack. Then I'll get a proc on the double attack, sadly. Now the steel shell is going to be expiring next turn, so again this turn, even if we could, we will not be using that that invincibility and buff and dodge increase on Salvador. Now we're gonna charge us. We have daze and damage decrease, so that's not gonna be a good attack. The next attack we're gonna get with Boras, sadly, but we're gonna have to deal with that. Now we have invisibility on the other one, so nothing good is gonna happen right now. But here we're gonna make sure that we actually get some cheat death on some people, just in case something goes bad. We're gonna do some turn meter increase just for the fun of it. Still don't need that dodge increase. We still have the steel shell, so we're gonna wait another turn to actually use that. Now we're still gonna go with the basic attack here. See, we are up to 4 stacks on the sharp. We're gonna be doing a lot of damage when that gets that. Now we have days on Boras, so we don't want to use this second skill. I'm gonna go with the basic attack because the second skill will not do damage since it cannot crits. Now here we're gonna go with the second skill. Is gonna see that she'll be doing quite a good amount of damage. We did not get a crit, so my bad, it did not do that great amount of damage. Here we're gonna go with the basic attack, kill her, and then we can just finish with this guy. Now this guy's Salvador's about to lose his shell, so we're gonna apply dodge increase on him with invisibility on everybody else. Now we don't want to use that AoE pointless at this point because there is no well, we could do a currency increase, but there's no point without the critical chance increase applied to our team. There's no real point to use it. Next turn, when we use them again, we're going to do it, and we're going to have a chance to get a currency increase, which will be pretty useful. And you can see here, my Salvador still is not taking damage. That just comes to the fact that he has very high physical armor, pretty much. So now we're going to try to apply that currency increase. Pretty much everybody except Kagi gets it, so it's actually pretty solid. Go basic attack, get that sharp up as much as possible, and well, get a crazy crits here and get a 3-star clear with pretty much everybody full HP and everything. So this is how you beat this challenge, guys. Again, the 2 characters that are important to be built for this challenge is Boras and Salvador, and I think you understand the point here. If you look at the damage, you can see 327,000 damage from Boras, and after that the closest one was 148,000 damage, and this damage is not that important as long as you can have Salvador surviving and taking attention from buff on buff is enraged. You know, at a high level, it's pretty much just Salvador survive, you are good no matter how long this fight is gonna take you. So guys, this was the Icheddon'S Champion Stage 5, probably the easiest challenge I've seen for me so far because my pride team is very strong, and I do recommend anybody building a very strong pride team because in Battleground this team is one of the best, guys. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully this video will help you out. Make sure you subscribe to the channel channel, check the bell to get notified when posting new content on the channel. Also, make sure you join the Discord server to gain access to our guide and Drac Wins giveaway, guys. And guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for being part of my community, and I'll see you guys in the next video.